All right.
Do that, and then I'll mute you so you don't have to hear me grunting away.
I appreciate it. Again, I got Cameron here. Thanks, sir. Quick, we got the recording. If it sounds funny today, I only have Cameron online, so I'll be training him and talking to him, but also be leading the class per se. So if it kind of feels different on the recorded version, this is why. Besides that, it's time to get to work, my man. Today we have a warm-up workout circuit to get started. It'll be 5 1-minute planks going with our mobility exercise to get warm and loose. We have lats and abs. We got a lot of work to do. So let's get moving. Hopefully you did last Friday's workout. The one recorded one I sent. It's kind of similar on some ways. So 5 1-minute planks. The workout we did on Friday had the movement planks. Today's workout is supposed to be the non-movement, your regular low plank or high plank. 1-minute plank. Round 1, we're going to have our standing scissors. Round 2, standing runners, blah, 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 blah. You ready? 1-minute plank. Let's go. Now, as we do the planks, right, we're breathing. And literally, if you just breathe in your nose, out your mouth, they call it active recovery, right? Your body is able to recover for something else, blah, 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 blah. Take the pressure out of your elbows, out of your neck, out of your shoulders, out of your toes, and try to put it in the center of your body. 1-minute plank times 5. We'll have our 5 different movements to get warm. Take yourself to the happy place. Again, last Friday, the recorded one had the numbers, the reps of movement planks. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Relax and breathe. Again, most people are like, wait, are we supposed to warm up for any of these things? Well, I'm not too worried about planking. 20 standing scissors. You won't do standing scissors again today. You got your dynamic lengthening of your hamstrings, your glutes, your back muscles. You're moving your arms and your legs via your shoulder and hip joints. There's a lot of things that go on in standing scissors. 20 standing scissors. You won't do it again today. Breathe and focus and work and increase that excitement on a beautiful Monday morning. I'm assuming you guys have nice sunny weather down there. I can see the light from the outside coming in. Round 2, 1-minute plank again. We'll have our 20 standing runners. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. Yeah, we actually have our first week in the possible 70s coming up. Woo! Which really, we haven't had that many weeks in the 60s or days in the 60s. So we're kind of skipping the 60s and just going to jump to the 70s. Again, I prefer a low plank elbows and toes. Your body works harder to stay in that position. Hands and toes, high plank, push-up position. I'm not saying it's easy. It's just not as hard on your body to stay in the position. It exists for people with elbow and shoulder issues. Some people can't be in the low plank and they feel more comfortable in a high plank. But you do turn on more core in a low plank. 3, 2, 1, relax and breathe. There is no rush to get on and off the ground. 20 standing runners. You got your dynamic mobility on your standing runners. Your standing scissors were dynamic lengthening. You know, I always have my educational points dynamic. In my world, multi-joint motion, multi-muscle activation, which I'll talk about again later on when we get to our legs. When I talk about leg muscles, leg exercises. In some ways they're different. dynamic mobility is a joint thing. Alrighty, we're back to plank again. Set number 3 on your plank. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. Again, a great time to, whatever that work email is, get it out of your head. Focus on you. Think about Hawaii and Cabo and other things besides the plank. Abs tight, core tight. A lot of people are like, oh, get your butt up. Oh, get your butt down. Your body should be parallel to the ground. I should be able to put a tennis ball on your lower back and it should stay. That means you're not moving too much or constantly tilted. Put a weight on the shoulders. Again, that will avoid the tilting of the exercise. It'll help you feel level, per se. If you put a plate, literally a physical plate on your shoulders, that would help you be balanced. 3, 2, 1, relax and breathe. We'll be on our Jack LaLanne's mindset. You're using your core on your plank. You need to make sure you keep your focus on the Jack LaLanne's. I know it sounds corny on a safe, dynamic stretching exercise, but that lower back could say, hey, I'm still here too. So stay engaged. You got to get all the way up so you can go back down as you stretch and you rotate. If you just flop over and stand up, that's where bad things can happen, especially in this core combo. Now it sounds corny, but isometric core is the second greatest force you put on a muscle. Sorry, isometric exercise. A non-moving contraction is the second greatest force you put on a muscle. So your core is actually being worked a lot while we do our planks. So when you do movement combos, you got to be a little more focused, a little more attention to detail. Breathe in, folks. Monday afternoon, a little huffy, puffy, sweaty breathing. Shake it off. Shake those shoulders off. Set number 4 on our plank. We have 5 total sets. This is set number 4. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. Breathe in your nose, out your mouth. I always like it when you guys are focused on an exercise to do it right, elongating and contracting and the tempo. But when you're doing planks, I want you to stay engaged and focused. At the same time, it's okay to let your mind wander and go somewhere else versus sitting there suffering and perfectly contracting your abs and your core, although amazing and good for you. When you're looking at longevity, it's okay to separate for a second. Three, 2, 1. Relax and breathe. Again, no rush getting on and off the ground. You've got 20 total alternating stationary reverse lunges. And I want you to think about that good joint mobility on a stationary reverse lunge. Yes, I'm trying to get your muscles, your hamstrings, your glutes, your quads. But when you do these, you got your hip joint. There's a lot of motion there. Knee joint. There's a lot of safe motion on a pulling stationary reverse lunge. Your ankle joint has a little displacement. Good posture. Hips, glutes, eyes, thighs. This is a great mechanical exercise to making sure the joints are warm and loose and lubricated. I'm starting to turn on those muscles. Even though we're not going to need our legs for a little while, I just want your legs getting part of that blood flow and heart rate equation. Cameron, we have one more plank. One more plank. And then we'll do our stiff-legged deadlifts to go with that one. Here we go. Last 1 minute plank in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Again, there's no weight on your elbows. Doesn't exist. There's no weight on your toes. Doesn't exist. Center that weight in your body. Last part. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. And breathe. Shaking off those shoulders. You've got your all training, balancing, lengthening, stiff-legged deadlifts. So take your jack of the lanes. Take your stationary reverse lunges. Maintain that focus on your core as you balance and you lengthen and you contract and you get all the way up so you can consistently and effectively go back down. The fourth and final circuit today will have legs, and I'll use the general term legs, so you may do these again or not. When we get there, you can literally do any legs, so we'll talk about that as dynamic and static, and all those things will come into play. 20 total alternating stiff-legged deadlifts. And as you're finishing that off, we're going to get your space ready. We'll be doing lats, and for the most part, that'll be lat pullovers. Not many people have lat pull-down machines at home, but if you're at the gym doing the recorded version, you can do lat pull-down machine. But if it's been a while, I'm asking people at the gym if they would like to do lat pullovers. They are a great mobility lengthening exercise. But at the gym, so many people have been so focused on doing the lat pull-down machines because they didn't do them for so long. So anyhow, we'll be doing our lats and we'll be doing our abs, concentric motion abs. We just got done doing 5 minutes of core, okay? When you're ready, our lats, lat pullovers or lat pull downs, they're gonna be 5 sets of 12 to 15 reps. I'll take 12, I'll take 13, I'll take 14, I'll take 15. And why do we do rep ranges? To increase load, whether it's physical weight or time under tension. 12 to 15 reps. Your abs, the big ones, are gonna be 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. And I'm talking like this to give you some energy, to get that fire going, grab your attention, and I want you to push the go button. And it's not go fast, it's just don't wait for me. My opinion, each circuit today is about 12 to 15 minutes. We'll just say 12 for ultimate, time, 48 minutes. You got your lats, 5 sets of 12 to 15. You got your abs, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. You got sit-ups. You got many versions of sit-ups. You got reverse crunches. You've got toe touches. You got hanging abs. You got jackknives. You got V-ups. Yeah, if you do scissors and runners and swimmers, cool, just do them slowly. Remember your abs. You can lay on the ground, lay on a bench, lay on a ball. So many different body, leg, feet positions. Let's talk about your lats. Again, don't wait for me, Cameron. Your 5 sets of 12 to 15 rep range, and your abs are 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. When you do your lats, let's talk about lat pullovers. You're laying on something. As you lengthen those lats, contract those lats, you're reaching above your head, you're lengthening, you're gonna pull and contract and breathe. I know it's not the best lat muscle exercise, even though it is a lat exercise. It's the mobility of your shoulder joint, and you're breathing. You could have some core depending on where you're at, and you're pulling. When your hands come from above your head, you will always turn on your lats. As far as the pulling hands coming from above your head. lat pull downs. If you have the tools, right, you need to sit on something for the most part. There's machine plate loaded lats. There's cable lats. Yeah, I could sit here with a band tied to the garage and I could pull down, so banded lats, that's a possibility. It needs to have, you have load, you have tension coming from above. Lats, 5 sets of 12 to 15. Your abs, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, sit-ups and toe touches and V-ups and slow scissors, slow runners, hanging abs, jackknives. You got a little bit of pace. You got a little bit of work. We'll have 2 of these style circuits, and we'll have 2 of the timed, small changes timed circuits. Again, when you do rep ranges, that 12 to 15 reps, example, if you're at the gym, I'm going to start you at a certain weight. I start Cameron, I start about 80 or 90 pounds. And you always do as many as you can do. Stop at 15 if you get there. And every round we're going to add weight until you potentially don't even hit 12 reps. And my intent is on the 4th set that you might not get 12. So you'd be like 80, 90, 100, 110, or 90, 100, 110, 120. But when you hit that 4th set, how low did you go? If you get 10 or 11, you keep the weight for round 5. And if you get 9 or less, we'll go lighter so we don't lose too much on that one. So that's why rep ranges exist. Increase your physical load. At home, we make sure we hit the controlled tempo of 2.5 to 3 seconds, so the time under tension load is there. And you do that until you can't hit your rep range. And then for me, and how I grew up training, that 3rd or 4th set, if you don't get the rep range, how low below were you? Were you close? You stay there. Did you go down too low? You need to go lighter. Again, 5 sets of your lats, 12 to 15 reps. 5 sets of your abs, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. It's 150 total abs, followed from your plank circuit, the 5 minutes of isometric core. Teens didn't log in there. Stinkers must be working hard today. Again, today is the only circuit of abs, so I don't mind if you diversify between them. I don't mind controlled high tempo, right? Especially when it comes to the abs. I didn't say go fast. I don't mind controlled high tempo. Pace definitely has got to be high. Pace is always associated with rest, so low, no rest is high pace. Controlled high tempo. I still want you hovering around the 2.5, 3 second mark, depending on what you're doing. Reverse crunches, for example, that's a hard one to have high tempo. You gotta have the lengthening component. That's why it works. And if you don't have that, you're either gonna bug your hips or hurt your back. So naturally, that's a longer tempo. Toe touches, people tend to go too quick. So you gotta intentionally slow that tempo down on a toe touch. And I think people get confused with the rep. It's not that I want you resting down here and quickly doing it. It's that you control the whole motion as you go up and you down. You have a controlled tempo. Sit up, same thing. If you go too fast, you're going to irritate something and hurt something. So you're going to have the controlled tempo. But you can increase the tempo a little bit on the sit-up. You still have a bigger motion. Same with V-ups. You have to have the lengthening component on a V-up. There are shorter V-ups and there are bigger V-ups, but you still have to have that controlled tempo on the V up. Again, you're working, you're breathing, you've got lats and abs going on. Potentially you get to lay on the ground the whole time with lat pullovers. You could lay on a ground, lay on a ball, lay on a bench on your lat pullovers. You might get more motion if you do lay on a ball or a bench, which is a good thing and a bad thing. Make sure you reach safely, and everybody's gonna have a certain stopping point. If you ever feel like it bugs your shoulders, that means you're not keeping your shoulders back and down, and or your hands are getting too low behind you. If you're on the floor, for the most part, that doesn't really happen unless you have a really bad shoulder. Breathing lats. Again, lat pull downs. You got different hand positions, long bars, straight bars, bent bars. You got narrow grip, neutral grip. You got ropes, you got towels, you have machines. There's a lot of different hand positions when it comes to your lats. I don't really want a lot of hand positions if you're doing this workout recorded. Definitely focus on the weight progression. You're increasing weight until you can't hit your rep range. Cameron's on his 30. For the most part, this would be my time as well, right? The time comes from your time under tension. You got 50, 40, 30, 20, 10 on your abs. That's about 450 seconds worth of abs. Again, plus or minus based on your exercise you chose. You've got a rep range of 12 to 15 reps, so you're looking at 60 to 75 reps between your lats. Let's just make the math easy, right? You've got 225 reps. Lats have a longer lengthening component. Some of your abs might as well. You're looking at about 600 to 700 seconds of work. So there's at least 10 minutes. And that's why I said each circuit's probably right around a 12-minute circuit. The other two circuits are timed, so I know I'm controlling a lot of it. Plus I know what the combos are. So again, everything's around 12-ish minutes, 4 circuits. 48 minutes, again, give or take. Small adjustments go a long ways to keep you stimulated. Today we have the isometric core done. We're doing our lats and our abs. We'll have isometric legs coming up with our shoulders pulling. So we're gonna think about our deltoids and our upper traps. And we'll finish the workout with our trap rows, our middle traps or lower traps, and that will go with our concentric focused legs. So lots of work. Wednesday will be chest pushing and chest pulling. We have a right side circuit, left side circuit, exertion and abs. So kind of a rhythm for the week this week. Again, 12 to 15 on the lats. That third or fourth set, based on where you're doing this workout from, will determine the weight the rest of the way. Your reps are decreasing on your abs, so you're getting back to those lats a little quicker. Naturally, pace and tempo increase as you get closer. Maintain motion, increase, maintain load. I'm going to use the word intensity. It's okay to increase your intensity, which normally has a little focus in there, increasing your focus. Abs are 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Home stretch. When you get done with the last round, which I'm not saying you should be there by any means, we're going to be jumping into our next circuit. We'll be doing wall sits the next circuit, and that will go with our shoulders, so keep your equipment close by, but you'll need to get your space ready for wall sits. And I know Cameron has one more round of lat pullovers and abs, so like I thought, we had about a minute or two to go, and that puts us right around that 12-ish minute mark per circuit. Lat pullovers have a long lengthening component, like chest flies, like windshield wipers, like reverse crunches and stiff-legged deadlifts. They have longer lengthening components, so it's hard to go quick. Again, just so you hear it one more time, 5 sets of 12 to 15 lats. Should be almost done if you're doing the recorded version. You'll have your 10 on your abs, something big, something challenging. Most people wait to do their V-ups on the 10 or jackknives on the 10 or the harder exercises on the 10. We'll be doing our wall sits next with our abs. Sorry, wall sits with our shoulders pulling. Monday work day. Definitely feeling my week of some slave labor on the farm. Cameron's like, whatever, come over here and do my patio for me. Remember that last year, all the projects you were doing? Alrighty, I know you remember. You get to look at it every day. The next circuit is wall sits. Find your wall. Remember on your wall sit. Regular wall sit, wide wall sit, narrow wall sit. You can change your feet on your wall sit. You can even sneak in some calves on your wall sit. We have 5 1-minute wall sits, and I'm going to give you the shoulder pulling exercises. Here we go. Wall sit in 3, 2, 1, let's go. The big pieces to the puzzle on a wall sit. Your head against the wall, your back against the wall, your butt, right? All those things are there. You got your 90-degree angle at your hips, your knees, your ankles. Unless you're doing calves, you can do your calves isometrically, not moving, or concentrically moving. Wall sits, regular wall sit, your feet are shoulder width apart. Wide wall sit, of course, is wider. Narrow wall sit is narrower. Lots of little changes. Again, you can always sneak in some calves. But the biggest component I want to talk about right now is that you don't push against the wall. You're sitting against the wall. I hesitate to say leaning against the wall, but you want to sit against the wall. Try to not push against the wall. That's actually really bad for your knees, and I hear it and see it all the time when people shake them off. But again, it's a weird concept. 2, 1, relax and breathe. We have 5 sets of wall sits coming your way. Set 1 and set 5 is going to be 20 upright rows. Whether you have a plate, dumbbells, or dumbbell, or barbell, kettlebell, there's so many things you can hold, right? If you can't do upright rows, you can do a set of lateral raises, which we're going to do on set 3 anyways. Upright rows, again, or lateral raises, we're going to do it on set 1 and set 5. Set 3 is going to be lateral raises anyways. So for those that have to do it, it's going to be on set 1, 3, and 5. 20 is the number on all of our shoulders. So this circuit's going to be 100 shoulders pulling. The lats and the traps are 60 to 75 pulling reps. So today was all pulling between your back and your shoulders. This circuit is 5 1-minute wall sits. Mix up your feet. And at any time, you can always get off the wall and do pulsating squats if you need to. Alrighty, here we go. Set 2 on the wall. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. Again, the hard part is that mindset. You're going to sit against the wall. Try to not push against the wall. Head, shoulders, back, butt against the wall. 90 degrees at your hips, knees, ankles, unless you're doing calves. And like I said earlier on the plank, I always want you to focus Always trying to have the intent. But if you need to zone out and take yourself to your happy place, zone out and take yourself to your happy place. Keep going, please. Wall sits. Breathe. In your nose, out your mouth. Active recovery, supplying oxygen so the muscles can keep burning. In 3, 2, 1, relax and breathe. And again, don't be in a hurry getting on and off the wall. Set 2, arms straight, thumbs up, front raise. The thumb thing, I want you to do it. It helps you get your deltoids. And then Cameron, if you can't do it, you can hold one of your dumbbells or one of your kettlebells. There you go. You got your thumbs up. I would love the thumbs up. It helps you turn on your deltoids. When you do front raises, your pec minor wants to help out. You got your other deltoids that want to help out. Your biceps want to help out. You're trying to make it an anterior deltoid. Even a little bit of pec minor. You're trying to not get your scalenes or your upper traps. We're getting our upper traps on the other ones. 20 front raises. Some people can only hold one dumbbell or a medicine ball or a kettlebell or their baby, right? You can hold anything on your front raise. Just be careful. Too much swinging of a baby, she might get a little bit lighter. If you know what I mean. 20 arms straight, thumbs up, front raises, and we're going to be back on the wall here in a second. We have 5 sets of wall sits in this circuit. And remember, it's okay to stretch for a second if you need to. We're not in a hurry. We have isometric legs, which is the second greatest force you put on a muscle. So that's a lot of leg contraction, even though you're not moving them. We're back on the wall. You got to check your phone?
Yeah, sorry, one sec.
Okay, I'll chat with you. We have wall sit. Here we go. Wall sit. Third set. Cameron, I can give you a lot more information, right? Wall sit. Set number 3. Regular, wide, narrow with your feet. You got all the non-moving parts. 90-degree angle at your hips, your knees, your ankles. And Cameron, we have 5 one-minute wall sits. You're on your set 3. If you need to move on, we can. We'll be on our lateral raises next. As you may or may not know, in the recorded version, I started recording the noon class because it was the only time the gym has been quiet, per se. The 6 a.m. class, I've got 4 people here before class. I got 1 or 2 people here during the class. So I stopped recording the 6 a.m. class, and I record the noon class. In 3, 2, 1, relax and breathe. Set number 3 is going to be our lateral raises. Again, if you can do the thumb thing, cool. It helps you get your middle deltoids. You're still going to get some upper traps. It'll just help you get your middle deltoids. 20 lateral raises is set number 3. Breathe. Don't let your hands go in front of you too much. I see a lot of this on a lateral raise. If you need to stand sideways, that way your hands go lateral. So you got a mirror to your side if you need to. Your hands go lateral. Elbows can be slightly bent. Elbows can be even more bent. You can mix them up as long as you don't bend and straighten your elbows. That is a bicep and a tricep. You're going to keep your elbows slightly bent or not bent at all, but preferred slightly bent. You got your lateral raises, Cameron, for 20. I'll be a little bit ahead of you on these wall sits, but we're going to get all caught up here soon. 20 lateral raises. Set 4 on our wall sit. Regular, wide, narrow, calves are optional. In 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 1 minute wall sit for the 4th time. Play around with your feet. And again, I want you to focus on your quads, your hamstrings, and your glutes, and your calves, and your body position, and you're engaged, right? You're core eccentric. But I also want you to zone out and last and work and take yourself to your happy place. Your 4th 1 minute wall sit. When your feet are wide, you're going to get a little bit more on that vastus lateralis, the outer quad, semitendinosus, the outer hamstring. We don't get too many glutes, but they are part of the equation. But when you do a wide squat or high and wide leg press, you're getting those outer lateral muscles, narrowing them, narrow squats, narrow leg press, narrow wall sits. You're going to get your inner quads and hamstrings. 2, 1, relax and breathe. Set number 4 on the shoulders. Get low, stay low. Thumbs are pointed down, reaching out. Don't reach back, that's an airplane. And don't think there's a lot of motion, because then you're going to get your traps. I want you to reach out. And believe it or not, a lot of load is great. People think they need so much more motion. It's not a lot of motion. I want you to do the best motion that you can do. Thumbs are down, reach out on your 20 rear delt raises. You also have a little muscle there called your teres major, teres minor. And again, like the other ones, don't bend and straighten your arms. Keep your arms slightly bent the whole time. It's your rear deltoids, teres major, teres minor. And the only people that I know are strong there are house cleaners and painters, because they do a rotary lateral motion or rotational motion. That's why they're so strong, partly the mobile shoulder joint and the strength of those little tiny muscles. Alrighty, we're on the last wall sit. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last wall sit. And we're going to turn the dial up. At the last wall sit, 1 more shoulder. And then the next circuit will sound like the last circuit with our trap rows and our legs. The lats and abs were intended to be together because of the laying on the ground possibly the whole time, or laying on something the whole time. At the gym, for the most part, I have people doing traps and abs circuit 1 because of the tools. We've got bar rows, kettlebell rows, dumbbell rows, cable rows, machine rows, TRX rows, and so I was able to spread people out a little bit more. Blah, 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 blah. Last wall sit, we're going to do 1 more upright row, the same thing we did on round 1, and then I'll give you that last circuit to turn the dial up with. In 3, 2, 1, relax and breathe. You've got your 20 upright rows for the second and last time. Remember, my intent on this circuit was getting your isometric legs, the second greatest force you can put on a muscle, and you're pulling shoulders with your deltoids and upper traps. And that should go with your lats you've already done, and the middle lower traps coming your way. 20 upright rows, and we get to turn the dial up like earlier. When you do get done with your 20 upright rows, get your space ready. We're going to be doing trap rows. For those that have a TRX, or they're at the gym with the cable rows, machine rows, or if you're at home or you want to do bent rows, you got your bent rows. These are replacing your lats. 12 to 15 reps. Same as earlier. Rep range. Your legs are going to be your 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. You can do any dynamic concentric leg, like regular squat, wide squat, narrow squat, ball squat, box squat, stiff-legged RDLs, any alternating legs, stationary lunge, forward, lateral, reverse, walking forward, lunges, step up. You get the picture, any legs. Leg presses. You can also do static legs, iso quads if you want, GHDs, hip bridges. You can do calves if you want to do calves. So when I say any legs, you can do any leg muscle or exercise. Those are going to be your 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, just like earlier. 5 rounds, 12 to 15 rows, and you've got your 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. When you do your legs, I want to use the words lightly loaded. I want your hands to be able to hold weight for your rows, primary, and I want your hands to not be destroyed while you do your legs. Lightly loaded. So mix up the weight in your hands. Again, static leg muscle exercises, quad extensions, hamstring curls, GHDs, kinda, hip bridges, again, kinda. Calves, those are great choices if you want them. You got your dynamic concentric legs, lunges, squats, leg presses, a million different feet positions and body positions. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. I want you to have a little bit of weight. Hold a little bit of weight. Oh, Ashley, I love. Ashley, you got the best view in the house. What a lucky girl. Yes. Oh, don't give me those hips, Cameron. Come on, baby, give me those hips. Give that white. There we go. There we go. Hips and glutes and eyes and thighs. If your wife's going to watch you squat, you might as well maximize the opportunity. I love it. Last circuit of the day. Trap rows is a body position. Your hands come from in front of you with a trap row. Did it cut me out? Anyhow, traps. You got TRXs, body position, cable rows, machine rows. And again, all those all the things have the same motion. Hands come from in front of you. Your shoulder blades lead the way. Time under tension is a factor. Be mindful on the lower back when you're supporting yourself on your trap rows. Last week hopefully helped out that with the core rows, the balancing rows, the supported loaded rows that we did on Monday. Wednesday we had the pushing version with the triceps. Anyhow, home stretch, last circuit, concentric legs, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. You can dabble as you wish. We'll have Wednesday, again, a right side circuit, so we'll have right obliques and right legs in a circuit together. And those will have choices, again, as right leg can be any right leg. So this week can be either lots of dynamic motion or lots of static motion. A lot of people ask about their hands on rows. If you have a bar or a machine or cable, and you're able to open your hands up, believe it or not, you are potentially going to put yourself into getting more back muscle. However, if you even remotely lead with your arms, you're just going to get more arms. This is called a glory curl because you can handle a lot of load. You'll see people with heavy weights because the position, right, versus this. So back row and glory curls are very close. So open trap rows potentially can get you more back muscle. It can also accidentally get you more arms. So play with your hands. When you close them down, we have bars and machines here. Turning your hands down, the activation goes up the back. So you get middle upper traps and your spinatus muscles when your hands are closed. You get your middle lower traps when your hands are open. And of course, we have lots of different handles and tools and machines. Last part to your workout. 12 to 15 on your trap rows. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10 on your concentric legs. We've already done your isometric legs. That was a non-moving contraction wall sit. Eccentric legs are hard to do because the load required, but that would be doing that 5 or more second down version, right? It's heavy. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000. That's an eccentric exercise when it's super slow, probably heavy. You can do it on leg presses and squats, split squats. I really wouldn't do them on lunge too much. They turn on the most muscle, but they can also irritate the joints more. So your trainer's test is isometric, non-moving contraction. Concentric, it's what we always do. Lengthen and shorten a muscle, 2.5 to 3 second reps. And then eccentric, you are elongating the muscle longer and heavier and slower, and it's got to be at least 5 seconds. But it's all about the lengthening component. Blah, 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 blah. Cameron, I sure wish my biology brain would help me pay the bills, you know what I mean? 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Give me those legs, give me that body. When this is all done, you know my rules or requests. Don't turn the thing off and run into work. Whatever you do after your workout, your body will absorb the most and respond to the most. Hydrating. You will hydrate more and better if you do it right now. You will increase your nutrient absorption. You put the protein, carbs, and fat in your body will absorb them more and better. I didn't say eating afterward is ultimately the best. Some people struggle with eating, but getting the protein drink in, even amino acid drinks. There's carb drinks out there that are pretty good too to give you the fuel to go back to work. Stretching, it's a great time to stretch out your muscles. Foam roll, elevate. So many things to do. I really should come up with a chart. One day, finish your workout with one thing. Then another day, do another thing. That way, at the end of a 5-day week or a 3-workout week, you finish your workout with 3 different priorities because doing them all is a full-time job. Again, when you get done, push the off button, have a great day, pat yourself on the back, work hard, play hard, nourish, hydrate. If you need anything, please let me know. Happy Monday.